one last demo I do want to talk about. Before I talk about it, though, what are your thoughts on like using AI in video games? I don't mean like using AI for art or music, but like actually using like AI systems, so to speak.
It depends to me on like how you're using it, honestly. Like if you've got some overhead, like some room on like the GPU to like add some kind of machine learning or whatever to your game, you can do it, right? But like I don't know, if it has to do anything like connecting to the cloud, I'm not interested in that.
Okay, so I don't know if this game uses the cloud or not, since I'm always connected to the internet anyways. I should probably figure that out. There's this demo I tried out called AI to you or something like that. Let me look it up actually. AI to you.
AI to you.
Yeah, it's a game that's basically like an escape room. You've been locked into an apartment with like a crazy psycho, like she wants to be your girlfriend, and you have to try to not piss her off while also investigating how to escape. And one of the main features is that you can actually converse with her, and she responds to you using AI responses. And you have to type out your response. You have to type out your like responses or speak to her using your microphone, and it works on the Steam Deck as well.
Interesting.
That is actually kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept.
It uses AI though. Like, what's the premise of using the AI? A lot of those models are already like speech to text. Other stuff can be put into a simple system too, and parsed out. But
so in my experience with it, I have to come, like she gets suspicious of you, like snooping around and trying to get on her computer, and she gets upset with you leaving her behind, and then you have to be like, and then like I mean, I'm not gonna lie, most of my time was just spent apologizing to her. So be like, sorry, I won't do it again, and then she's like, oh, that's okay, or some shit like
gosh.
that.
So there's an AI generated content disclosure on this, and it says all the art assets in the game are not AI generated, but it says NPC dialogue and voice is generated by large language model and text to speech technology.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna guess like if I try to download this and it's less than like a gigabyte, then it's probably not and like done locally. That's just my
That's a hard one too, because it's really dangerous to not do it in a localized way, or in a gated way, because then you're going to go, and if they're using, let's say, OpenAI, and something just goes awry, they're going to have a really weird chain of conversations. But yeah, I mean, I for me, I don't care if it goes to the cloud or not for these types of things. If it's dialogue based, if you saw, there's it was with the Unreal Engine. It was with, I think, or maybe not. Maybe it was. Well, there is an Unreal Engine version, but there's also, I think, a Grand Theft Auto mod where you can talk with the NPCs, and it's generated from AI or machine learning, and you can have dialogues and talk to the NPCs in a very natural but very bizarre way, because this is an AI talking back to you. That type of stuff is very interesting for me. I really like that. AI generated content, as long as it's like done in a creative and a decent way, I'm fine with. But like, if your whole game is created by AI, I honestly, or most of it is, like all your assets, almost everything pretty much is, that's kind of a turn off for me on.
Is it even your game at that point?
There's tools right now to create it. They're already creating at the level of Doom, which is very, like, you think about it, not very complicated, but the technologies that had to go into Doom at the time to create that type of thing, the math was crazy. And so they have a generative AI that can create games like Doom at that level. And so it's going to get much more complex. Like it's going to be the complexity is just going to be out the roof, the more detailed it gets, but it's coming. Is it going to be interesting? Probably not for a few decades, in my opinion.
So I understand that the math to create Doom was insane at the time. Though the game in concept is, I don't want to say it's simple, but it is kind of it's simple to explain. Like you point and click and shoot things. I'm wondering if it could make a game like if it's like I'm curious if it would be able to make a game like Diablo. Like I think part of it might be that because these games already exist, it knows how to make them. But I think just it won't be able to make innovative games, so to speak. You know, games with brand new features or maybe even a new type of game altogether.
I think you'd be surprised what it can generate. It could do near. It can take systems and combine them and make something new, which could be innovative. But yeah, something like, I don't know. I'd have to see it, but I've seen AI handle creating, like combining like two concepts together and doing something creative that way. But it wasn't like, it was building off of creativity of others, which is what we already do.
Yeah.
We're just not there yet though, for that, what you're talking about.
So yeah, this game is about, according to Steam, it's about 3.37 gigs.
Yeah.
So maybe it does everything locally. I'd have to try it out offline to see if it works, but it's an interesting concept. I do like these sort of proof of concepts. They're certainly a lot better than like a game where it's just all like anime, like AI art or some bullshit like that. It's more creative, and at least they didn't generate the art assets with the AI either, which is good. It shows that they are having some considerations. I'm just curious to see if they're also paying the girls that they took the voice models from.
That is also a very sketchy thing in the future, is likeness and voices, image, all that stuff. Like
like Jeff Geerling, he had his voice stolen for an ad.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And MKBHD too. I mean, to be fair, he's like a 14 million subscriber YouTuber. I can see why people would want to steal his voice, but like, yeah, it's happening. I think we
did they? Yeah. I feel like there's been actors that have sued and won because they've tried.
Yeah,
right now it's not.
Did.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where I think legality, like from like the law, I think you can't do that actually, and so we'll see how it turns out. But royalties will be in play unless you sign, and some actors, I think from my understanding, Hollywood's actually trying to get some actors to sign like likeness agreements for where they can own the likeness and their brand.
I understand. Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult situation. Like, I understand, like these sort of like AI voice firms, they're not like super big. They're not like the mega corporations like you would think of. And so I think it is more possible for like actors to sue them and win. But like, Gardner, let's say like someone stole your voice to endorse a product you don't like. Do you think you'd have the financials to like take them to court if they refuse to like comply nicely?
I probably would not have resources to do that. No.
Small claims court is the thing. There's ways to do it. You're not completely helpless. But how much are you going to win is very, it could still be very messy, right? So you definitely, that's a hard one.
Yeah, the thing is, like, it would not be hard to steal my voice, right? Like, I've got literally thousands of YouTube videos, and most of the time I don't have background music in there. And even if I did, like, you can isolate the voice from that, and that's all training data, right? So, I actually wrote a license for my content that says you can't use my my license, my voice, any of my content to train AI. The only exception was like to produce subtitles, right, for assistance technology. That's actually cool. Like my most popular GitHub repo is the license that I wrote for this. But yeah, and it's like I've been concerned about this since like 2018. Like I've been very like worried about like having my content out there with my real voice and my real face in there.
And there's definitely some nefarious uses for it too. Linus Tech Tips told his bank that he doesn't like, if he's not in person to do anything, do not engage with anyone that claims to be like.
Yeah.
Do not, even if he calls
That makes
himself, I
sense.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
that
interesting.
license, can you link us to it so I can borrow that license for myself too?
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think that.
Yes.
That's
I'll
awesome.
find it.
yeah.
Like
Thanks, Gardner.
You're welcome.
he's a true open sourcer right there, man. Yeah, I haven't had like my voice stolen, but I've had videos stolen and used in ads or like clips of my video to endorse products and stuff.
Yeah, I have too.
The only time someone's stolen my video is when I upload some Nintendo gameplay. People did it as like a precaution to in case Nintendo would ever sue me or some bullshit like that. I mean, I don't think they would ever do it because I'm such a small YouTuber.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Russ though.
Context.
Yeah, so I'm gonna keep it short. Two of his videos were taken down and strucken by is that a word, strucken? Struck by Nintendo. And he has 2 copyright strikes and 1 more, and he could get his entire channel and livelihood taken down.
Oh, yeah.
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 We talked about this earlier in a episode that hasn't gone up yet because reasons. We'll discuss that in the future.
Technical reasons, yeah.
Yes.